Hey, Andre, should we share a mic with Mark Turner? Mark, come up here for a second. Yeah. We'll just talk this way until I take over. Okay, so this is what's really cool. Jacob shows up to the first ZLC when he came through the second class, right, Jacob?
Yes.
Second class. So he comes in unsure of what he's going to do, gets fired up. He knows the ZLC. And look at how much he's grown.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? He's gone from no business to his own business through the mentoring, through the philosophies in here, in this room. That is so cool. I'm on Facebook or email or text with Jacob probably at least once a week, maybe more. You know, this idea or that idea, hey, can you do this? He's right there all the time doing it. He gets it done. So if you want to create what Tony's doing and several other people are doing, what Ziegler's doing, you need to talk with Jacob. Either to start when you're going to start or start now. Either way, you need to talk to Jacob because he can coach you along the way if you need to grow it a little bit along the way. But I'm telling you, it works. Mark had a very you got a mic on, don't you?
I'm ready.
Yeah, you're ready. Tell us what happened. Tell us what happened.
Okay, I had to leave early yesterday. I had a keynote to do. I was asked to do this keynote for this multi-level marketing company, and they had about 30, I think it was probably 30, 35, I don't know the exact number of people that were there for what I was asked to do was leadership. They were recruiting people, the people that they recruited, they weren't doing anything with their downline. They said, how do we get them into action? So I put together just a small presentation, get together. Part of that was, there was a slide that said leaders are knowledgeable. And what I told them, in order for you to be a leader, you have to understand. You use the quote, you are where you are, what you are, because what's gone into your mind, you can change what you are, where you are by what you put into your mind. And I said, you guys have to begin putting the right stuff in your mind. I started talking about Automobile University and all these things, and I told my story of this book. And I said, as a leader, every leader should have See You at the Top in their library, without a doubt. I said, it's life-changing. And this gentleman sitting on the side said, I'll take one. Well, I didn't even have one in my hand. And I said, well, okay, I could show you how to go on the website and do that. Another guy says, I'll take one. And after about the third one said that, I said, listen, just pass a paper around the room. We'll figure out how many we need. I said, but let me tell you guys something. I hear you say, I'll take one. Anybody ever heard the term BOGO? If you heard the term BOGO, what's it stand for? Buy one, get one. Not if you're a leader. If you're a leader, it's buy one, give one. And I said, your leader's in here. It's buy one, give one. Make a long story short, she comes up at the end. She says, hey, Mark, I've got the paperwork here. We need 90. And there's a gentleman sitting over here that said, well, that's close enough. Give me 10 more. We'll make it an even 100. We sold 100 of these things last night. The reason it's important, guys, it's very profitable for you to sell these, but every time you're in front of a group of people, this is gold that's in the vault. They have plenty of them. The gold doesn't do any good sitting in the vault. It has to be in people's hands. It's our responsibility if we're going to continue the legacy, take it out of the vault, get it into people's hands. We all agree? Amen. One other thing I want to share with you, and we'll sit down and shut up, that I haven't shared this with many people. I'm just super excited about it. I mean, I am beyond giddy about this. I'm going to share it with you. Just recently, I signed a contract with HBO. How about that? Yeah. I know, man. I am super excited. It's great. $19.99 a month. Now I can watch any movie, anytime that they want. It works out perfect. I'm glad you're there.
Mark Turner.
You can use that for free.
That's good. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, that's great.
So how did that sale happen? He talked about it, right? He called leaders out. As a leader, leaders call leaders out, right? That's what they do. So I just have a question in here. Of all the books you could sell, what's the best book you could sell? What was that? Your own. So Michelle Prince has a book-bound workshop coming up. Y'all know about that? Yeah, that was pretty good. Everybody needs their own book. So if you haven't seriously considered going to book-bound and you have a book in your heart, that's something that you need to check out.
Because when you get up in front of the room, the easiest thing to sell is you, right? And if people are already responding to you, they're going to respond to your book. So you get a book, see at the top, Born to Win, whatever book it is that has touched your heart, that's the one you want to go with. Wait, Michelle has a quick one here.
And I was just going to say, this is actually the last one in 2015. The next one we're doing is going to be till January 2016. And all LLC, everyone who registers is $497, but all ZLC come for free. So, like Tom said, if you guys are ready to do that, do it at this one because it'll be 6 months before the next one.
All right. Tony, you had a quick thing?
Yeah, which Victoria reminded me of, if you don't have your book, have a pre-order if you already know when it's coming out. Because at the Scars to Beauty event, I had pre-order for my Bible study, and we have 40 pre-orders.
Nice.
Very nice.
When's the event, Michelle?
Oh, it's June 12th through the 14th. It's here in Dallas. It's right by the airport. And it's all day Friday, all day Saturday, half day Sunday. Howard is speaking Friday night, doing a special marketing session you don't want to miss. And then Tom is speaking Saturday night, doing a special bonus session.
Tell the dates again.
June 12th through the 14th. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Check your calendars.
Yeah, you guys all should have the flyer to get it for free, but we are almost sold out actually. which is
Turn
exciting.
to your writing your bio section.
Just before Jake.
Actually, it's yep, your bio section. I wanted to cover this briefly, and then we'll get to the business of closing remarks. And so I want to share this with you. I recently went to Ireland and I went through a conference called Influence Mastery. I went there to learn how to influence people so that I could be more effective in communicating. And it's basically born out of this belief that I saw Dad with on the stage. And that was that we might inspire somebody when they're in the room with us, but until they take action and they get the resources to take with them, 95% of those people who you inspire don't have the materials they need to have life change. They need to take something with them, right? We can inspire somebody, but if they don't have a plan to put in place and take action, the chances of that lasting goes way down. And we did an informal research study right here. Lori Majors can tell you about it. About 20 years ago, Dad called Lori and said, Lori, actually said, Miss Lori, would you count all the testimonials that we've gotten? Well, this is the paper days, right? So she goes in and she starts pulling these boxes and boxes of testimonials in. So many, she called him and said, Mr. Z, we can't count them. We have to weigh them. Too many. How many testimonials have we gotten since then? Tens of thousands. Lori went through them. Dad asked her to go through them and said, will you find out what it is that's changing people's lives? She went through it. And for every one person who said, my life was changed at an event, I heard you speak and it changed my life, there were 99 people who said, I heard you speak, I took home with me the book, the CDs, the cassette tapes, something, and by listening or reading to it over and over again, that changed my life. Right? We are in the life-changing business. You should be morally convicted to do exactly what Mark Turner did, because you were falling short of being in a life-changing business if you're not offering to them and equipping them with life-changing material. So what I learned when I was there is we gotta position ourselves in a way to where people want to take action. And so as you read through this, writing your bio, there's 5 things that a good bio should have. That's on the second page. And this is a rough outline. And in marketing, it's kind of the same formula. Howard can probably go into tons of detail on the marketing formula. It also, in that 5-minute speech that you did, you can follow the same formula and it will get people excited, right? Because with our group, Justin had a problem. He wanted a horse, right? And the consequences of that problem, he just wasn't satisfied. I mean, there was all these issues going on. So he presented it. So the first thing, there are 5 things a good bio should have. A problem. You know what my problem is? Is that I go all over the country and I see, people suffering through this thing called being a zombie. How many of you work with a zombie? Right? Right? I get passionate about this problem. Now, this problem has consequences. You know, first off, on the personal side, zombies, they don't have any fun, right? I mean, they're just wandering through life like a pinball in a pinball machine. And the business side, profits are down, revenue's down, quality incidents go up. I mean, it's terrible. Over 70%, right at 70% of the world are zombies. And it's killing our economy. They're not engaged. See? So now we need a solution. How do we get these people engaged? That's the third step, is we got to present a solution. And that's what we do as the presenter. So whatever it is that we're selling, we've got to show a solution. And then we got to tell them why it works, why we're part of the solution. If you're a leader and you've got people who aren't learning, then it's going to put a cap on the expectations of your organization. If you're stuck with the knowledge you had last week, guess what? You're behind. Your revenue is going to go down. Your turnover is going to go up. But there's a solution. What we put into our mind, what we feed our mind, determines our appetite. You are what you are and where you are because of what's gone in your mind. We need books like See You at the Top. And when people get See You at the Top, they learn things that change everything. Right? Then there's also the messenger. So that's the message. The messenger, there's 7 key things. 7 key things. And we talked about this in presentation skills. A messenger has to come out with confidence, right? They got to step forward. They've got to have the right posture, the right body language. That's why it's so important when we're coaching people on how to present that they appear confident. When you do things like touch your face all the time and look down and step backwards and mumble, those things take away confidence. But when you step forward and look people in the eye and share with them from your heart something you're passionate about, a problem you want to see fixed. Maybe it's a problem you've been through, right? I mean, that was your message. You've been through this problem. Sharing your voice, having a voice is all about this problem. So we come out with confidence, expertise. Now in my bio page, if you go to my bio page on the website, I shared my expertise kind of with interesting facts about Tom. I've shared this message at Harvard and Cambridge, right? That's a nice thing to put in. Expertise, likability, similarity. Hey, when I talk about my rabbit, man, if you don't like rabbits, you got a problem, right? It's the likability, similarity, family. You know, when you talk about your family, when you talk about the things that we have in common, the education we had or the education we didn't have, right? There's people who are going to find similarity in either one of those. Or how about, well, formal education taught me this, but I got a real education over here. Dave Ramsey calls it doing stupid with zeros on the end of it, right? That builds similarity in audiences. Engaging, trustable, and open. Trustable has to do with vulnerability. When you're up in front of the room or in your writing, when you're transparent about mistakes you've made, about things you wish you could do over, about things that happened to you that sent you in the wrong direction and you realize you had to take ownership for that, that builds something in the group. We're not going to do it right now, but if you want to just take a peek between my old bio and the new bio, you'll see the difference in that format. The difference in it. My new bio, following that formula, it didn't take long to write. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not saying that yours has to be exactly the same way. But I will tell you that the people who read it, they get excited about it. Now, my call to action was very specific. Howard, you got to have one call to action in every piece, right? Yeah. Otherwise, it's just a conversation. It's not, right? My call to action is I want to talk to them about the performance formula. So I don't share the performance formula right here. Because when we're booking a speaker, I think my greatest ability, my greatest asset is when I'm on the phone with them. So I want to share this performance formula with them. So I get them excited about what it can do in this little piece. What is it that you want to talk about the most? Here's a hint for you. It should be what you're most passionate about. You got to tweak your message, whatever it is that you are most passionate about, because the greatest thing that's going to sell you over the phone is the passion that they hear coming through. Right? So if you're not passionate about leadership, but you just think that your market wants leadership, and so you make your call to action to talk to you about leadership, and you're not excited when you talk to them about leadership, guess what? They're not going to be excited either. I would much rather you be excited and passionate about what you're going to talk about, which will then open the doors for everything else. So what is it that you're most passionate about? Are there any questions on this piece right here? Tanya.
I don't have a question, I have a comment. If you're staying for coaching and we're going to put you on the Ziegler.com coaching page before end of day on Friday, I would like to have your bio in my hands, please.
So your bio, there's a worksheet here. Y'all see this? This very cool bio page. Just work through it. It'll help you.
If I let you go and I don't get it on Friday, then I may never get it from you, then I can't put you on the coaching.
So let's just say hypothetically, you're out somewhere at a business function where it's very natural for people to say what they do, right? And the host comes to you and says, "Oh, look, I heard good things about you. Tell me what you do." And you're like, "Oh, I'm a speaker. I'm a trainer. I'm a leadership consultant. I'm Ziegler Legacy certified." Well, would you mind spending 5 minutes telling our audience what you do, right? Oh, man, that is like the ultimate invitation. And so to me, the greatest thing you can do is follow this bio. What problem do you address? Oh man, there's this problem out there that's driving me nuts. What are the consequences if it's not solved? What's the solution to it? Why does your solution work? What is your call to action, right? If you follow that bio and put an anchor story in the middle of it that they won't forget, tying it down, then you've got a formula for success. Anything else here, Kanya?
That's all I have for now. We wanted to reiterate the commissions, and if you don't have your commission codes and your affiliate codes, you need to get those and be able to put the tags on the end of the links for all the offerings. And if you have any kind of interest outside of what you're certified for ZLC and you want to refer that back to Ziegler for a nice fat 10% commission, you should do that. And those forms are in your back office.
Yes, they are. So this is, do we already have the names in there? Okay, I'm going to ask y'all. I have a story I want to close with. And this story I'm either going to tell right now, and then we do the simple, we've got a little simple thing we want to do that's going to mark this day in history. It's not like a cry and tear graduation, but okay, it's not going to be that. It's going to take about 10 minutes. So I could tell the story now, and we do that, and then we're done smiling and hugging, or we can do this, then I can close with the story. Which do y'all prefer?
Tell the story.
Tell the story. We'll go with the story, okay. A couple of you have heard this story. And I love it because, first a guy that I admire sent it to me. And he asked me to endorse his book. And I'm reading this book, and this story is in there. And it's about a young man. And this young man, when he was, 15, 16 years old, he was in a horrible, tragic accident. And his left arm was mangled and it had to be amputated. And so you can imagine, no matter girl or boy, at that age, you go through a physical trauma like that, right at the point when you're moving into adulthood and you're trying to figure out who you are. That is an incredible thing to go through. So after he had recovered from that physical side of that, right, he still got the emotional, he goes to his dad. And he says, "Dad, I'm struggling. I don't know what life has for me. The questions. Are the guys are the girls gonna like me? Am I going to be able to get a job? Am I going to be able to support my family? I mean, all these. He says, Dad, I think I need to do something to build my confidence. So they start talking and they think, you know what? Maybe you could get involved in martial arts. So in their city, there was a judo studio. And in this judo studio, there was an old Japanese master. Been doing it his whole life. Think Miyagi. So they go to the studio. And the father walks in with the son, and they're side by side. And the father looks at the old Japanese master and he says, this is my son. He's had this accident. Can you help him build his confidence? Can you help create in him this belief that he has what it takes? And the master said, yes, I'll work with him. So the next day, the young boy came in, 17, 16 years old. He comes in and he starts working. Every day he went in, every day for a year he went in. And here's the amazing thing. The master trained him with the same judo throw and pin every single day. Every day for a year. Every single day. Same throw, same pin. Now the master would come at him with different attacks, but the student had to position to get the same throw, same pin. The year comes up to an end. The master says to the student, it's time for you to compete in the tournament. Eyes get big. Wait a second. I only know one throw, one pin. The master says, you will do fine. They go to the tournament. They go out. First match. He's out there. He wins easily. He can't believe it. He's shocked. Right? He looks over at his master and he's like, Master's just shaking his head. It's one of those tournaments where you win, you advance, you lose, you go home. Second match. This one's a little more difficult. But still, he wins fairly quickly. Third match comes. Oh, now we're getting into the season. Several minutes go by, kind of even. He throws and pins this one as well. He jumps off the mat. He can't believe it. He looks at the master. He's like, how did you know? Okay, you got this. He goes to the championship match. Comes out. Now he's fighting someone bigger, 20 plus years of experience, been doing this a long time. They start the match. Instantly, it becomes apparent that the young boy is no match for this man with 20 years of experience. He does everything he can to be avoiding the throw, and he manages to escape. 30 seconds into it, the referee calls a timeout, calls the boy's master over, and privately says to him, Sir, I'm concerned for your fighter's health. He's had a great tournament. He's done so well. I don't want him to be hurt or embarrassed. I think you might want to call the match. The master looked at him and said, no, my student has this. They go back out. They start fighting again, and instantly it's apparent he's overmatched, but he's able to dodge. And after a few more seconds, the veteran with all the experience, all the training, all the years grew impatient, got a little off balance. And that young man, 17 years old, throws him and pins him. He can't believe it. He gets up. He goes over to the master. He says, how did you know? How did you know? He looked him in the eye and he said, young man, for the last year, you have almost, and in the last year, you have almost perfected the most difficult throw in judo. And there's only one defense for it. And that's to grab your left arm. I think every day in what we do, Whether we're looking in the mirror at this person or there's somebody sitting right here, we're all missing our own left arm. And we go through life thinking, why do I have this left arm gone? Why did I have to go through that? And the Master knew. It was the only thing that if you still had would defeat you. We have this ability to unlock in the people that we touch and we train and we teach. To say, this thing that you've been through, you know, I don't understand and it's not fair, it's tragic. I mean, I can't think of many things worse than being that age and losing your arm. If you focus instead on what the Master has planned for you, then the one who desires to defeat you will have nothing to grab hold of. That's what I love about this group of people right here. When I hear the stories of every person here, everybody's got their own version of this in different ways. Right? And it's what you've been through that's going to touch the life that nobody else can reach. Right? When you combine that with the Master's guidance, with God's hand, you are perfectly positioned. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you. So here's what we're going to do. It's going to be a little bit of a picture and a fun thing. Are you going to have them grab one?
Yeah, they're gonna take one down and pass it around.
Okay. So you're going
The vessel was an appropriate vessel.
so you're going to pull a name out. You are going to pull a name out, and everybody's going to go ahead and pull it out. And we'll just start with Dave, or you'll start with Cynthia. Pull a name out.
Your own name, then put it back.
Put your own name, put it back, and grab a different one. And then what's going to happen is we'll start with Cynthia. Cynthia's going to stand up and say an I like about this person. And a verbal I like. And then that person's going to walk up here, and and we're going to give you a new pen. It's the same. It's not. You're not saying anything. When you come up here, you don't get to say anything. No. Thank you. We're just going to give you, I'm not even going to pin it on you. I'm just going to give it to you. Right? And I want this new pen to signify that there's going to be somebody else out there who you're going to run into, that you're going to influence and have an impact on, that's going to carry on the pump. They might come through ZLC, they may not. That's okay. But this second pen is a reminder that you impact others' lives, and then you move into the significant zone when they, in turn, impact somebody else's life. Okay? Everybody got a name? We'll let it keep going, then we'll start with Cynthia.
I want to say I like Jill because she forced me to stay out here, even though there's like so many things that I need to go do, and I've really gotten a lot out of this week, so thank you, Jill.
Right. Yep. Then they come up.
If it doesn't come out right at the end, then I'm Anybody get their own name? I'm just curious. I always wonder if that happens. Jacob, you got your own name? You can
Yeah, then you can give it to them. You can give it to them, but for right now, it's just verbal. Okay, so okay, just so everybody's ready, okay, we're going to do this relatively quickly. We're going to start with Cynthia, and we're going to go Mohango, and then we're going to go down here, we're going to go to Carl, Then we're going to snake around just like the thing went. So Cynthia, who do you have?
I like Evan
Yeah.
because he's been such a good friend, and I appreciate his kind words and your prayers.
All right.
Do you guys
brother.
want
Thank you.
pictures with anybody when we do this? Speak now, forever hold your peace.
With Tom.
Yeah, see that?
We can get pictures. Well,
Tom, we're good. You want pictures again?
get in front of the pump.
are.
In front of the pump.
Yeah,
Just get Andre to snap it because it takes a lot of time to put out
Yes.
the cameras.
Yeah.
There's a marker on the pump.
Can we tell everybody just to stay in a certain spot over here if they want to be filmed, and then we take pictures for us?
We'll stand right here and we'll be static.
Thanks, Jill.
Thank you, Andre. So, for future reference, if you want, for the rest of the filming, Evan's as far as you can go that way if you're talking about somebody. So make sure you stay in front of him.
On the edge? Oh
Yeah,
boy.
you are the edge. So. I don't know what to do.
Great.
That's great.
Isn't she? I know. All right, y'all. All right, who's next?
All right.
One of my favorite people, the mayor, Mark. I like and appreciate Mark because he encourages me to be the best I can be, and he makes me feel very welcome each time I come here. He brought a hat, a cowboy hat, so I could feel like I'm part of you.
Run, Mark, run.
No, it's another pump. Come on in, brother. Yeah, I think this is better.
There you go.
Yeah.
He's in there.
Boy. Quit pinching me. There you go, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
I love Matt because your great attitude is so very contagious. You have a great sense of humor and you use it to help build others up. Thank you.
Run, Matt, run. I don't care if he's gimpy. Come on. I know, it's bad. It's bad. Drop the struggle.
Those leadership skills you learned.
All right, man.
Big job with that.
Love you.
I like Michael Newman because he is a great new friendship that I've been able to develop this week. Risk taker, you're a world changer, and praise God.
Maybe shots at Walmart.
Yes, I do.
Whatever he wants.
I'll tell you about that.
Here you go. All right.
Be careful what instructions you give him still there.
He's strong. Go, Justin. Yeah.
You read the I like, man.
Oh, mine time to read. Just really met her last night, but I got Nikki. I like Nikki because what I know about her story, she's an overcomer, and strikes me as very persistent and unwavering, and just kind of she seems a little tough. I kind of like that.
Very nice.
He just heard my story about when I used to be a cage fighter. That's
I can tell from how you talk. You wouldn't put up with much.
All right. I just got the best Well, thank you.
Evening session, what's the most bizarre thing that you could tell us about yourself? Yes.
And I got nothing.
Thank you, thank you.
There you go. Thank you.
And no tears!
I like David Kaufman because everything he does, he has a smile. He makes the right decisions at work. He's doing the right thing step by step by step if you follow him. And at home, he got rid of television. He spends more time with his wife. He takes care of his family, you know, because he posts pictures of them all the time. And he's a snazzy dresser.
Brother Dave. Good side.
Job, Tom.
Yeah, I know. When I grow up, I want to be just like Justin. Gotta buy a big green egg. Don't think, just wear.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay. I love and appreciate Kanya because of her endless and enthusiastic support of the entire Ziegler Legacy Trainer family, and she is a caring servant and a difference maker.
Okay, not like I've never seen it. I love Andre because he's done everything I've asked him to do the last 2 days without any kind of grumbling or anything. He just
Tanya,
smiles, "It's okay."
not that you don't have several hundred, but there you go. Bless you. It's Veronica's turn.
So close. I like you, James, because you're an encourager, and every time that you speak to me, I am encouraged and motivated to do more.
Brother James. James Tibbs.
I didn't see that picture.
Oh, I have it.
Yeah, I want to see it.
Oh, have you not seen our picture?
No, I want to see it.
It's scary. No, I haven't.
She becomes James.
Appreciate you, man.
I got Justin Young. I like Justin because of his red pants. I don't think I can pull that look off, but I appreciate you giving that effort. No, sincerely, he's very charismatic. He doesn't even know this, but I creep on his Facebook like I do all y'all's faces. And his videos, and I mean, I see him when he first came here, and I know he's got a really good background in speaking. He's polished, and I really like him about you. And I watch, you're very driven, and you've got a purpose-driven life for your family. Because, you're worried about, your business, your insurance business, your run and stuff that we kind of shared, just talking to me, man. So I really admire that about you, and I think you're an awesome speaker too. So. You should ask him if he got his pants down.
No, you're good.
Pretty sure that's accurate.
You don't get those skills.
All right, there you go.
David Wright. I like David because he's knowledgeable. You always pull out the best in me. You've helped me find who I really am, and you're an amazing friend.
I want to pet that head.
There he is.
What?
I'm not gonna lie.
That's not something you hear every day.
That's why Howard's
Hashtag weird.
now we know why Howard's always in the back.
Back from us. Here you go. Oh, yeah.
He
Cassie's up.
I got Chuck. I just met him yesterday, but since the first day I met you, you have really affected me with your positive attitude and your mindset. He lives daily for others. His attitude is so genuine, and when he talks to you, you can tell that he's listening and cares. And he encourages me to go and reach further for my goals.
He was basking in his awesomeness.
I was supposed to thank you.
You happy? Where is Jason?
There you go, guys. All right. Nikki.
Okay, I got my sweet brother Rodney, and I love him so much because he is my sound of reason. And I go to him all the time. This thing isn't big enough. I go to him all the time for stuff, and even though it may be a year since I've seen him, I can go straight up to him like I did last night and say, guess what, blah, 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 and he's my sound of reason. And he's a huge inspiration to me. He always shows me how to be calm even if there's a storm, and his smile makes me feel like I'm at home.
His smile.
Go get your
Oh, yeah, I gotta go get my pen. I got my hug, that's all I need.
Hey, hugs are good around here.
That's right.
Gooder.
It's endorphin rush city around here, man. It's okay. I can't rescue you. I'm too tired.
Since the Benadryl.
Dave.
All right, I tried to write something for Ken Grant. I'm not much of a writer, so I'm much more in person. I met you yesterday for the first time, and when I met you, I knew you were sincere, you're loyal, and you reek of it, and it comes out, and your desire for knowledge and more of everything. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
He did know.
Awesome. Here you go, brother. Okay, Rodney.
All right. So I got our wonderful from the other side of the world sister.
Yay.
I first met her, well, I guess it'll be a year in July.
Yes.
And this is what I wrote. So I like Muhammad because of her courage in the face of adversity, the strength she displayed in go ahead and following through and actually showing up last July.
Yep.
Right? Because it was a great inspiration to us and all of our ZLC 3 class, which we rock, by the way.
You got first class, y'all do any good.
I don't care what seat you sit in on the plane, our class was the worst. That's pretty good.
We're second to none.
Yay.
So
Have a speak off or something.
Come on, let's go.
You're good.
The what?
Your cheeks hurt yet, Tom?
Very good.
Thank you. Can't wait to come see you.
All right, she's gonna get
So I have Veronica, and there's just not enough room on here. But one of the things that I find about Veronica is that she's like the impactful quiet one. And what do I mean by that? Her journey as a chaplain is just simply incredible, and just that one story that we heard just in the other room speaks volumes of her character and who she's about. I'm grateful for her personally because she's a fellow Toastmaster, and she actually did a critique, and she's helping me on my journey towards Distinguished Toastmaster. So thank you for that personally. And I wish you many blessings in your journey as you take on this ZLC role. Thank you.
And she's one of our sisters.
Oh yeah. Again, it's that ZLC.
ZL3.
Z3. Right, kid? Yeah, baby.
All right, here you go.
Oh, my pen.
Yep. Appreciate you.
Yeah, but we have to decide what we're gonna do.
David Wright.
All right. I like Tracy Day. Because of his heart. Yeah. Packers us up and call us Ziegler Twinkies. That's what it is. Hey, there's a market for that. Hey, bro, come on. Or the cone heads, either one. Jake from State Farm. I love Tracy because of his heart for people and his desire to see their lives changed. I also love your great sense of humor. And you're like my brother from another mother, man. And I thank you for your friendship and your inspiration. Man, I received it. That's awesome. I received it as it's given. Look at here, I'm with these good-looking folks up here. This is fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Don't destroy it.
I just got it. I haven't been used
Don't
so
let
it's
it
kind of
belong
neat.
I was happy, very happy to get this, and I like Cynthia. Because she's been a good friend for a year now, every year from the first class. She's been my carpool partner this week as we've sat and had ample opportunities at stoplights, watching the lights turn several colors, and then obviously drove through them. Traffic in man, so it's all right. Cynthia's very sweet. She's so nice. She's a giving person. She's a part of a group that's going to be it's always going to be first class in my heart. And I'm just so thankful that you were able to be here this week and that we were able to spend some more time together.
Thank you.
Yay.
Group hug.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be it.
It's like 3 bars with Verizon. Look at
that. Thank you. Evan.
James is actually wrong about the traffic. You know, we actually don't have cars in Maine. Speaking of vehicles, David Simmons. I love David Simmons because he has been such a thoughtful encourager to me. And he has a passion not just for our success, but if you talk to this man, he has a passion for each and every one of us and our safety on the roads. And I commend you and thank you, sir, for that.
Stay next.
Okay.
Ryan Flanagan, physically, yeah.
See, it looks like Zig's tugging your head.
There you go. All right, Jacob.
Well, I like Carl because he fits into a category that about 1/3 of ZLCers fit in, and that is that he's a reserved servant. He is the first to offer a helping hand, but he also knows how to listen. And so every time I've ever held a conversation with Carl, instead of thinking about how he was going to respond to what I said, he actually listened and thoughtfully thought about what he was going to say to help carry the conversation, to help feed into me about the conversation rather than thinking about where he could segue to. He's the person to move his seat first. He's the person to help set up chairs and move tables. He's always there to volunteer. He's been there on every activity that I've seen. He's been the one to help, but without necessarily opening his mouth. You see, we all love to talk, and we know he does too. And hearing a little bit about the struggles he's gone through, every time I heard him speak, he's a worker just like most of us. But I'm inspired by him and I'm encouraged by him just simply by the way he listens. So I appreciate you.
Go, man.
Thank you.
Well, oddly enough, I actually got Pete, so that was pretty cool. And Pete is a walking/running wonderful example because he has taken his adversity in stride with quiet faith, and he encourages others to do things that they didn't think they could possibly do.
Yes.
The first time I saw Pete outside of class was I was sitting at La Madeline doing my green planner homework, and I see him running by at 6:30 in the morning. He is nuts. It's freezing outside.
Thank you so much.
Running down Preston Road, it's freezing cold. Crazy. It was like, well, I'm kind of training. Like, oh, sorry.
So, as short as I'll keep anything, because as soon as I pulled this person's name out, I almost started crying in. I love Cassie.
You rigged it, man.
Because at a young age, she has already lived an amazing life. She will change the world. She has changed mine. Yeah.
That's awesome.
We don't mess up the mascara either. Just
Appreciate you, love you. There you go.
The rain brought.
That pump is to make us cry.
Pump some tears.
Pump them tears.
It's just our tears every time.
Big tough cowboy.
Are you ready to rumble? I like Howard Partridge. All right, guys. I really like Howard because of his core life principles. I mean, he's well-grounded. He knows who he is. He knows where he came from. And I really like the fact that he wakes up every day with a heart set on fire to help people use their vehicles to take them to their dreams. Phenomenal man. Grow on, brother. All right. Yes,
I'm out.
You think you got enough of those?
Guns?
Oh, heavens. Yes.
You should give that to Santiago because I know you take all his.
You got a couple extra, right?
All right. Well, I'm excited about the person I got because it is Philip. And I love Philip because he's a true friend and I know his heart. God has chosen him to make a difference in a big way. He exudes love and I'm blessed to have him in my life.
Break a leg.
We're the only group that could probably get away with that.
With friends like these.
I was getting back to what he said.
Thank you, guys. Love you. Love you, brother. Thank you.
Howard.
All right. I love Tony Cooper.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I love Tony, that's right. And the reason is because she's passionate, she's caring. I call her a fire plug, right? She's a little fire plug that's making a difference in a lot of lives. She's impacted a lot of lives, and she's going to impact a whole lot of lives. I'm proud of what she's doing with her branding and all that she's doing, and especially what you guys are doing for women. So,
Thank you.
yes, ma'am.
Tom, you look so tall.
Wow.
That's just a long short.
Go. Thank you. That picture reminded me of my wedding in Mexico. I look like Shaquille O'Neal in a crowd of 700 people. No, it's true. My in-laws and their friends are. It's awesome.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my plum-pleasing pleasure to present to you Miss Michelle Prince. I adore Michelle because she is a beautiful woman in all of who she is. She is a blessing to everyone who comes in contact with her. I appreciate her always making me feel important and that I bring value to her life. I love me some Michelle Prince.
Thank you so much.
I know.
Tracy, your book needs to be one-liners.
Yeah. Say again?
You need to write a book called One-Liners.
Exactly.
I can do that.
Sorry, it's not going to be as short as it.
Hey, no.
There's so many. I'm not going to be the Jolly Green Giant. Come on. Is that enough? My mom's your height.
Yeah, I
already
know.
on my family. I'm like,
Michelle. Philip.
I love, I admire
respect Jacob.
Yes.
A young man that's gone through what you've gone through, overcome what you've overcame at such a young age, and that God changes your heart, changes your life. You're such a genuine young man, growing your education and what you're doing in life, the impact you're making in our lives, and what you're going to do in your generation for the Ziegler legacy and beyond, as well as the ministry. We just, all of us, we love you, respect you.
Yeah.
Tell me I got everybody. I'll just die.
What about Mike Rodriguez?
Go ahead. He's not here.
He's not here. No. Must be President Wynn.
Must be President Wynn.
Jill's president. What about Jill?
What about not being resorted?
There you go. Thank you, brother. Love you.
Retreaded, man.
All right. Let's have one more round of applause. A special thanks to Kanya for all the support here, to Lou and everything she's done, Jill, Julie, the Ziegler team. Woo! We are officially finished with our first ever recertification class. And I want y'all to know that this will probably be the only time in recertification history where we do that, what we just did right here. Because next year we'll probably have at least 70 people coming through. That's the goal, 70 people. So, through Recert in place. We love you guys. You can either leave it and we'll save it for you, or you can bring it with you when you come. I got these hit the screen. Yeah, just hit the screen anywhere on the screen.